Hey folks, here at OS Reviews. You're watching our video first look and first impressions tour of this fairly generic waterproof Bluetooth speaker, which is extremely inexpensive. It comes in a number of different colors, and you can find it anywhere from eBay to Amazon at under $10, which makes it one of the most affordable wireless speakers on the market. It's popular because it's waterproof, which makes it a good companion for pool parties as well as maybe in the bathroom, and maybe you want to put it onto a shower, you can still listen to music or radio, for instance. The speaker itself is mounted backwards, which gives you an indicator of the priorities that this speaker is more oriented at being waterproof and durable as opposed to being audiophile or truly great in terms of sound quality. With that being said, it does get quite loud despite being a mono speaker, and although bass could be more impressive, it does have a decent range for playing back pop music as well as maybe rock music and anything perhaps you don't have to care too much about intimate listening, it will work. So since they're, if you're using it in the shower, there will be the sound of the water anyways, so it's not going to be the best again for maybe classical music, for instance. Otherwise, it is completely waterproof. It can be submerged in 2 meters of water for up to 30 minutes, and that is the IPX rating on here. And otherwise, the suction cup itself is pretty easy to use. You add a little bit of moisture, and then you can attach to any glass or flat surface without any issues. The only critique that I really had with the design is the charging port. It's covered up by rubber flap just to prevent water or moisture from getting in and damaging the circuitry. However, because it is so small and they didn't want the rubber flap to be too big to risk water damage, they went with the proprietary charging port, which is a 5-volt prong-sized port as opposed to the more standard mini or micro USB. As a result, if you lose the charger, it becomes a lot harder to replace, and you have to carry around an extra cable for charging this up when you are traveling. The actual suction cup part can be removed from the speaker completely if you don't want to use that and just want to treat this as a typical speaker, and you have essentially just this grills on the outside. There is a bit of a latch so that when it sits on the surface, it can still project the sound 360 degrees. On the surface here, you have access to the controls, which are coated in a layer of soft touch rubber that prevents it from getting damaged, as well as prevents fingerprints from getting attracted to it. You have access to the typical play pause keys, skip track controls, a dedicated volume control, and answer/reject call keys, because in fact, there is a microphone on here. So the microphone, despite not being covered up, is still technically waterproof, and you can use it to answer phone calls, for instance, when connected to an Android or an iOS smartphone. It uses simply Bluetooth 4.0, which is quite energy efficient. One charge, which takes roughly 3.5 hours to complete, lasted me around 18 hours of continuous audio playback and intermittent testing with the microphone, which is a decent audio as well as battery life performance for a speaker at this price point. Otherwise, to start the pairing, it's also quite simple. Just tap on the power key for an extended 4 to 5 seconds, and it will start the pairing mode. There's an LED light which will start flashing, and you know that you can then go into the pairing selection. So otherwise, not anything too spectacular. Sound quality really, again, is quite average, but really it is loud, and that's all that really matters here, since it will be placed in somewhere with ambient sound in the first place. And although there are a few design cues I think that they could replace in a next generation model, like the use of a standard charging pin, overall at this price point, it is quite inexpensive and could be a good option for this holiday season as a simple gift or a stocking stuffer. You can check out more details in our upcoming official Ring review, but for now, this has been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews.